I'm going to go ahead and call this meeting to order on this December 14th, 2023, the last city council meeting of the year, and my last city council meeting as mayor. So I'm going to call this meeting to order. And please follow me in the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, may I have the roll call, please?
Councilmember Karpinski Costa.
Present.
Councilmember Lopez Taft.
Here.
Councilmember Middleton.
Here.
Vice Mayor Daniels.
Here.
And Mayor Schaefer.
Here. Next item, please.
This meeting of the Citrus Heights City Council is cablecast live on Metro Cable 14, the local government affairs channel on the Comcast Consolidated Communications and AT&T Uverse cable systems. This meeting is closed caption and live streamed at citrusheights.net. Tonight's meeting replays on Monday, December 18th at 9 a.m. on Channel 14. This meeting can also be viewed at the city's YouTube channel.
Okay, and a point of order, I forgot to adjourn the closed session, so there's nothing to report out there, so I'm going to re-adjourn this meeting. And the next item, please.
Next item is approval of agenda.
Move approval.
Second.
Approval. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Seeing none, motion passes. Next item, please.
The next item, we have a special item number 4, the selection of mayor and vice mayor.
Nomination, please.
I'd like to nominate Brett Daniels to be mayor. Second.
I have a motion and a second.
And I just want to say you did a great job being mayor.
Thank you. Yes. We need to do a roll call on that?
You can do a voice vote.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Seeing none, motion passes. I have a nomination for vice mayor.
I would like to nominate Councilmember Karpinski Costa for vice mayor.
I will second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Seeing none, motion passes. I think we need to switch some seats here now.
I don't want to move. I got all my stuff here. I'm old.
We could take a 5-minute recess.
I'll move next time.
Where's my new seat?
Good tonight you're here. Because I got all this stuff. I got too much stuff to move. Oh, thank you, Amy. Just, I get stuffed everywhere. And thank you for getting me my emails. Okay, let's move on.
Well, thank you very much. The first thing I want to say is I want to take a moment to express my appreciation, my deep appreciation for the job that Mayor Tim Schaefer has done over the last year. It hasn't been an easy year. We've gone through a lot of things, a lot of challenges, and the mayor, Tim, not only fulfilled those duties, but has to work a full-time job too. And so if you don't know, our positions are essentially part-time jobs. Sometimes they fill a little more than that, but we're not heavily compensated for what we do. And most of the people that serve on the council tend to have full-time jobs. Some of us are lucky enough to be retired or kind of retired, but some of the others are heavily involved with their lives and do this in addition to that, and it's not easy sometimes. And Tim has a job that requires a lot out of him, a lot of travel and stuff like that, and he got it done. He got it done, and I have just the utmost respect for the job that you did, and the image that you portrayed throughout the city especially, and I get compliments all the time about the mayor, and so that tells you that you did a great job, so thank you very much. And I don't know if you want to say anything about your time?
thank you very much for your kind words, and thanks everyone for their patience with me.
All right, next item, please. Well, no, let me say something, actually. Thank you for selecting me as mayor. For those of you that don't know, this is my second time around on the council. I was on the council from 1999 to 2005, and I served for mayor 1 year there, and it was a great honor, an incredible honor, and a great opportunity to, be somewhat the face of the city council at events and stuff like that. But I'm especially honored to do it this time around. So I just want you to know that I don't think that means that anything's different. Those of you that know me know my highest priority is public safety. And I hope that we can continue to do some things that enhance our public safety and enhance the vision of our city and how it looks. Hopefully do a few other things. We're going through some pretty important things. We're looking at maybe forming our own school district. We're looking at annexing some properties possibly. And so there's going to be a lot of work ahead, but it's going to be a very fun year. It's going to be my last year on the city council. So it's going to be a fun one, and we're going to have a good time doing it, and hopefully in the process also make sure that we do a very good job for all of you. So with that, next item, Amy.
Our next item is presentation number 5, proclamation of the City of Citrus Heights honoring Police Commander Jason Russo on the occasion of his retirement from the Citrus Heights Police Department.
And I would like to have Councilmember Karpinski-Costa.
Vice Mayor.
Vice Mayor, pardon me. The Vice Mayor present this proclamation.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. That's not Russo.
He's halfway on retired time, so.
He's halfway out the door.
That was a great cake you had. Just take a picture of it. Okay, there he is. Proclamation of the City of Citrus Heights honoring Commander Jason Russo on the occasion of his retirement from the City of Citrus Heights. Whereas Commander Jason Russo has honorably served the citizens of the City of Citrus Heights since 2006, helping to launch the Citrus Heights Police Department. Whereas Commander Jason Russo obtained his Bachelor of Science degree in Criminal Justice from Sacramento State University, his master's degree in organizational leadership from National University, and is a graduate of the prestigious FBI National Academy in Quantico, Virginia. Whereas Commander Jason Russo came to Citrus Heights Police Department with 10 years law enforcement experience, beginning his career as police officer and moving up chain of command to sergeant, lieutenant, and then commander. Whereas Commander Jason Russo's passion for people and law enforcement community is evident in the way he has consistently sacrificed and given of himself to mentor, train, and assist his fellow officers, both personally and professionally. And whereas Commander Jason Russo is a founding board member and past president of the Citrus Heights Police Activities League, and has brought credit and respect to the department by serving on the training committee for development of training for the California Police Chiefs Association. Wait, there's more. Whereas Commander Jason Russo has distinguished himself in the Citrus Heights community through his service on various boards and participation in leadership in Relay for Life, Tip a Cop, that's not where you tip him over, it's Tip a Cop, Shop with a Cop, and the Holiday Cheer Program. And whereas Commander Jason Russo's loyalty, dedication to duty, and commitment to excellence defines the 27 years he has devoted to the protection, safety, and well-being of those with whom he worked alongside and the communities he has served. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the City Council of the City of Citrus Heights hereby commend Commander Jason Russo for his contributions, dedication, and distinguished service to the community and the Citrus Heights Police Department, and wishes him the very best in his future endeavors.
Very nice. We'll come down and take a little nice picture in a minute, but first, I was going to have Chief speak, and then, see, he thinks he's still the mayor, so. Go ahead, Chief.
Thank you, Mayor Daniels, and members of council, your Police Chief Alex Turcott. I have the distinct honor of, recognizing a legacy member of our police department. I won't repeat all the whereases, but they.
What's Tip a Cop?
Tip-A-Cop.
Yeah, what is that?
That is an event that honors Special Olympics where the officers will serve at a restaurant, and all the proceeds that go
Oh, cool.
from the restaurant help the Special Olympics event.
Okay.
Where was I? Oh, yeah, Jason. A distinct pleasure of really a legacy member. You know, he came to us with almost a decade of experience, but really from the ground up helped us build a foundation where we police with the community, be innovative, creative, his passion for the youth in our community, and just his ability to give of himself at every level. His fingerprints are on a lot of the programs in our agency, and they still will be even after he goes. So super proud of you, Commander, and thank you, Council, for honoring Commander Russo.
I'll just keep it brief. I really want to thank the community, the council, the city manager, the chief, my partner, Chris Fry. We've come a long way. It's bittersweet to leave us behind. It's been very interesting, great opportunities, good fun, good memories, good times that'll always be in my heart. I want to take special thanks to my family here, my sister, my brother-in-law, my parents, and my fiance, Charlotte. They are the support that got me through this career, and I really appreciate their support in this next chapter of my life. So I wanted to thank all the family and friends that came here today and to help support me, and thank you for bringing this to my attention and doing this proclamation. It means a lot. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm going to give the council members an opportunity to say something, then we'll come down and take a picture. Councilmember Lopez Taft.
Commander Russo, I just think it's incredible that you not only served a decade before you came to us, but also, graced us with your innovation, your talent, and just your love for community. And I just really, really appreciate your time in service.
Thank you. Councilmember Middleton.
Commander, my first interaction with you was actually through the PAL program. And I watched how dedicated you were to our youth, how you made sure you touched every individual. And just that spirit of that is what led me to be on the PAL board with you. I loved watching your leadership and changing that narrative, working really hard to make sure that's one of the things. Don't appreciate the fact that my son is thinking about going into law enforcement at this time. But he looks up to you and many others in the department. Our department there's going to be a big hole there with you not being there anymore, but we are so grateful and so thankful for your service, for keeping us safe, and we're glad that you made it safely and healthily to retirement. Thank you so much.
Former Mayor and Councilmember Tim Schaefer.
Commander Russo, you exemplify what I see in a public servant and a police officer, somebody who I could trust and go to. And I know that I got a phone call when the decision for a chief was made, and I got to tell you, it was a really tough decision between the two of you. You took it in stride. You're both well qualified, and I can't tell you how much I respected the way that you handled yourself in that situation, because I'm sure there was some expectations there, and you're deserving. Both of you were. And so I have great respect for you. Again, the level of service you bring to this community we're eternally grateful to you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Vice Mayor Karpinski Costa.
Well, I was on the council when we voted to have you guys, be our startup department. And I can remember when you came, you were like one of the premier first people on the, I saw former police chief Boyd there. He's proud of you at your little gathering. And I'm proud of you. To watch, you were younger, it was a while back, but to watch people grow in the department and see the commitment to the community, because we, the community, see the commitment the police make to us. And it does nothing but we then love our police department. It's if you do not live in Citrus Heights, you do not know, you can never imagine how much the community loves our police. They come to our community meetings, they give of themselves, and as the chief has said in a couple of speeches I heard over the last couple of weeks, they spend more time here at the city than they do with their families. And so good that you're retiring. Hopefully you have more time to spend with your family. And I do appreciate, on behalf of my community, thank you so much from the bottom of all our hearts for serving.
Thank you. Yeah, and I'll just add, the thing that I admire so much in you is that you came here in the beginning, and you've been here that whole time, and you've put your fingerprint, no pun intended, on so many things. So many people admire you. They truly do, and I wouldn't say it if it wasn't true. And so, thank you for everything you've done here. I hope that you're not going away. I hope you're retiring, but not going away, because there's so much that you can offer with, was it 27 years? That's something that you can't purchase, you can't do anything with it. You just have to live it. And so I'm hoping that you continue to come back somehow and share that with the youngsters especially, because we can only hope that they will go through their careers as you did and achieve what you did. So thank you so much, very, very much. So if nobody has anything, let's go ahead and go down and get a picture. Next item, please.
Our next item is presentation number 6, proclamation of the City of Citrus Heights honoring Tammy Nosardi on the occasion of her retirement from the City of Citrus Heights.
Thank you very much, and I'm going to ask Councilmember Lopez Taft to take care of this proclamation.
All right, I'd like to invite Tammy. Thank you so much. You know, this is the year we turn 25, and then everybody wants to retire. We have such wonderful, wonderful staff. Proclamation of the City of Citrus Heights honoring Tammy L. Nosardi on the occasion of her retirement from the City of Citrus Heights. Whereas Tammy Nosardi began her career with the City of Citrus Heights in 2008 as an accountant. In 2017 was appointed to Senior Accountant Auditor, and in 2018 was appointed to the position of Finance Manager. And whereas Tammy's impact on Citrus Heights was immediate, as she worked diligently on reconciling the general ledger and subsidiary accounts, updating records for the city's fixed asset accounts in accordance with GASB, service contracts, customer service procedures, and accounting operations of City Hall. And whereas, during her career, Tammy has contributed to the efforts on numerous projects throughout the city, including the planning and development of the city's enterprise resource planning software, Eden, ensuring deadlines and deliverables were met and the city was ready to serve the community, was instrumental in the implementation of the processing of online payments for building permits, animal control, and business licenses, and assumed the lead role in coordinating the COVID expense reimbursement process with FEMA and management and reporting of the American Rescue Plan Act funding. And whereas Tammy's extensive knowledge and experience helped lead the agency through a second system implementation of the finance and payroll modules, and whereas Tammy's commitment to working collaboratively with all city departments and strong financial stewardship was demonstrated on a daily basis as she oversaw payroll, accounts receivable, and accounts payable. And whereas Tammy's collaborative nature and genuine care for Citrus Heights was greatly appreciated, as she was a key team member in evaluating and implementing successful strategies to improve the fiscal health of the city. And whereas Tammy played a crucial role in providing administrative support and institutional knowledge of the city's financial history, which was essential to the development, presentation, and adoption of the city's biennial budget document. And whereas Tammy's commitment to helping others, her coworkers, and her dedication and guidance significantly enhanced the evolution of the city. Now therefore be it resolved that the City Council of the City of Citrus Heights does hereby commend Tammy Nasardi for her many contributions, steadfast dedication, and exceptional service, extending to her the sincerest gratitude and appreciation for all she has done for the city, this community, and for all those who live, work, and play here. Congratulations, Tammy.
Thank you. Yeah, go ahead. I believe we have a few more nice words about her.
I do, thank you. Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and council members. Actually, a little bittersweet for me. I mean, sweet for you, bitter for us. I've only had a limited time working with you, Tammy. But in that short amount of time, it was apparent. Your devotion to our city has had a significant beneficial influence. Your assistance, guidance, and expertise from the city's finances to managing ARPA funding and, of course, the development of the biennial budget was clear, detailed, and accurate. It certainly will not be the same without you, but we'll try our best to continue the effort you've put into this city. I wish you the best in retirement. Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. Council members, anything? Portia?
Yes.
Can I say something first?
Oh,
Well,
yeah, how rude of us.
ooh, it might not be good then, I don't know. Go ahead.
I just wanted to say a couple thank yous to some people that made my journey here very memorable. One would be Rhonda Rivera, who used to be the assistant city manager. She's now retired. Second would be Raj Prasad, who was the accounting manager, who is now the finance director at City of Napa, and Bill Zanoni, who was our MRG consultant and our interim administrative services director. I just wanted to thank the three of them for everything they taught me back in 2017 when finance and human resources merged. We went through some big changes. At one point, I was a department of one, so I learned a lot. But anyway, so those three people were so very, very important to me, and I just wanted to mention them. Also, thank you, Ash. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, all the employees here. I mean, I've made a lot of friends. I still talk to a lot of the friends that, used to work here. So I just, I really do care about the city. I know that you guys a lot of times talk about living in the city. We don't all live in the city, but, I mean, for a very, very long time, I bled Citrus Heights blood, so.
Thank you. Don't go away.
Thank you.
Don't go away.
Okay.
Portia?
I just want to say thank you for your dedication, your stewardship for all these many years. It has not gone unnoticed. There have been times when I've had questions early on when I first started on the council, and you were always so very receptive and so very kind in walking me through our massive budget book. And thank you for that kindness, and I wish you all the best in your retirement.
Thank you.
Well, Tammy, our interaction has been brief, but I know you as the budget guru, the budget historian on the team, and that history is so very important to a city's good functioning and just moving forward financially. And so I really, really do thank you for your years of service here.
Mr. Schaefer?
Well, Tammy, I will say, it's been a tumultuous few years, but we all get through it. And we all came out on the other side a little bit better, a little better understanding. I talked about this yesterday at the employee holiday party. There's a lot of folks that work really, really hard, and they're not out right in front of us all the time. And she's one of those folks that works really hard or worked really hard. And I want to congratulate you on your retirement and best of luck.
Vice Mayor.
Where are you off to? What's next in your plans?
Doing some consulting work and going to Hawaii.
Good for you. Well, as Councilmember Lopez Taft says, our relationship's brief, and he stole my thunder, because when we had the holiday luncheon yesterday, it hit me how many people were out in that room that made this city so good, and we don't always know who you are. You know, we see the final budget, and I know that Susan puts a lot of work into it, but you're behind Susan and doing all of, there are so many people in our city that do the work, and the department heads get a lot of credit because we know who they are, they stand out. And you little guys, you're just like the unrecognized, and just to let you know that we appreciate everything you've done to make this wheel turn, and it's turned pretty well under the direction of our city manager. So thank you so much for sticking in there and doing whatever it is when you were a department of one. That must have been horrifying, but that's good.
She can give herself time off, approve her own
Yeah, I
time.
guess. No one tells you when you.
So
can take it back.
let me just say how much I've always appreciated the fact that you can take these numbers and they come from so many different sources and they have to go into so many different pots. And if people looked at budgets, they'd just be shocked, like how can you keep track of all that? And you're required to get it like right down to the penny. You can't round it up, round it down, whatever. And your always straightforward way of presenting it is extremely appreciated. And so you'll be missed. And thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for 15 years, I guess, here, right? 15, I'm doing the math right? Wow. And that, again, we just don't see that kind of thing so much. And it's greatly appreciated. And you left your mark, and that's what's important in life. So thank you very much. We're going to come down and do the picture thing and then get you off to Hawaii.
Great. Aloha.
Next item, please.
Our next item is public comment, and members of the public, if you wish to address the council during the meeting, please fill out a speaker identification sheet and give it to myself. When you're called upon to speak, step forward to the podium and state your name for the record. Normally, speakers are limited to 5 minutes each, with 30 minutes being allowed for all comments. The mayor has the discretion to lengthen or shorten the allotted times. Mayor, I do have two written comments that were submitted for this section of the meeting, and then I have another one, but that's for item 14.
Okay.
Later on. And I did not receive any speaker cards from the audience unless there's anybody that wishes to come up.
If there's anybody that wants to speak on public comment, go ahead and come on up, and then we'll fill out a card. And if not, then we'll have you go ahead and read the two written public comments for now.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and read the written comments. And the first one is from Alfred Sanchez, and he states, December 21st is National Homeless Persons Memorial Day. We will be holding our 5th annual gathering for this occasion. We meet at Adalberto's Restaurant, 6171 Greenback Lane, 7 p.m. Everyone is welcome to attend. The next public comment is from Rick Hodgkins, and he states, I would like to expose the city to a family-owned and locally owned cheesecake business called To the Bay and Back Cheesecakes. Had I not had yet another event last week on Wednesday, December 6th, I definitely would have been at the tree lighting and exposed us then. By further exposing the business, looking for promotions and sponsors, I am introducing our company to different parts of Sacramento County other than just the city of Sacramento. We are currently looking for people to sponsor us, so if you and/or someone you know is interested in sponsoring us, please email me. I, in turn, will take your information and pass it on to our CEO, who is also our marketing director, who is also the owner and proprietor. All 70-plus flavors of cheesecakes are from his grandmother and mother. By having people sponsor us, then we can hire people, launch another wholesale bakery, and delivery, and at least delivery trucks, so as to get our product out to both our commercial and residential customers. The vast majority of cheesecakes are made on a large scale by a wholesale bakery, but the person who is our marketing director, owner, and proprietor can make them on a small scale. 2 of you got my business cards recently. 1 of you got it at Braden Murphy's campaign kickoff for County Supervisor District 4. Another one of you got my business card 3 days ago at the Regional Transit Board of Directors meeting. Not only will we put you on our website, if you or someone you know is interested, we will also put you on our social media platforms, including Instagram and TikTok. Our website is tothebayandbackcheesecake.com. To place a cheesecake order for the upcoming Christmas and New Year's holiday, you can call 916-370-9211, or you can email cheesecakes1, the number 1, at comcast.net. The person in charge of cheesecake orders is out of town as of today, but will be back at work on Monday, December 18th. Thank you, and I look forward to hearing back from you shortly. And that concludes the written public comment.
Thank you very much. Okay, next item, please.
Next item is comments by council members and regional board updates.
Councilmember Lopez Taft.
All right, I've been enjoying a lot of the community events and the tree lighting, of course. Last night, we had another great community event with our Sikh business owners, and we just so appreciate having that invitation and opportunity. A couple of my groups did meet. The SAC Homeless Policy Council that I am a part of met on Friday the 8th. And the big news and information there is the point-in-time count, so the pit count of our homeless population or unhoused population will be conducted specifically in Citrus Heights, January 24th, 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. Now, the overall pit count is conducted within most of Sacramento County over a 2-day period of time, the 24th and 25th of January, 5 to 11 p.m. So just know that the pit count is very important. It feeds into a lot of statistical information and informs a lot of the organizations that provide services. The other group that I am a part of is our SAC Library Board, and today the big point of agenda was considering a raise and doing the evaluation for the Director Coyle. And so he's done, I just have to say, he's done an excellent job and had really great feedback considering he is in charge of all of the administration for all the public libraries. He has engaged in communication, conversation, and fixing or helping to resolve issues surrounding our own Sylvan Library. And we're very, very proud to say that there is quite a big amount of money allocated to securing our library and continuing beautification there. So very proud to announce that. That's it for me.
Thank you so much. Councilmember Middleton.
Thank you. Busy in a couple different ways. I didn't have any of my boards or commissions meet. We had one scheduled for Metro Chamber, and that got canceled. But I have been doing a lot of visiting around with our neighbors, going to a lot of community holiday parties, and just talking with folks and encouraging them to get out and spread the festive vibe. Professionally, Cal City Sacramento Valley Division meeting happened, and we started discussing our lineup of what cities we're going to be visiting in this division. We have over, we go all the way up to the Oregon border and out past Lodi, so it's a big division. We decided that 2 of our meetings will actually be, one will be in Lodi and one will be in Elk Grove this year, so I'm trying to keep it more local as the president of that division. I was at the holiday luncheon, had a great time talking to all the folks and seeing everyone there, and just, sharing the fact that I really appreciate all the work the staff does every single day to keep the city running and to keep, our council on task. I dropped in briefly for the Sikh business owners meeting. When it's the holiday times and you have kids, I have lots of cookies to bake. My children pretty much demanded I have to bake the cookies and take them all to the local senior living facilities, so we did that. And also the California Housing Partnership Board met this past week, and that is a big thing because as the vice president of the board, we're talking about what legislation we're going to be putting forth and supporting when it comes to housing in local jurisdiction, and I'm going to make sure that we do our best to maintain local control while also continue to build more affordable housing. And that is my report.
Thank you very much. Councilmember Schaefer.
Well, thank you, Mayor. I just want to share that we lost a resident of 57 years here in, who's my friend and neighbor, Harlan Friesen. My condolences go to the family. He passed away on November 29th. He'll be sorely missed. He's just a great human being, and just my condolences go to the family. On another note, I sit on the Sacramento Area Council of Governments for the young people that are here. So we actually there are 26 cities that meet on this board. And we talk about typically infrastructure and transportation issues. And that's transit, that's all things sort of infrastructure and transportation. And we learned through the agenda that the governor signed into law last year in June, the AB 194. Essentially what this does is this AB 194 promotes the creation of regional tolling authorities. So, and what that means to me is, what that should mean to you is, we will have our first toll road in the Sacramento region that will go from West Sacramento to Davis and back. We'll also have, these are toll lanes, not toll roads, but these are toll lanes. And there are 89 miles of toll lanes planned for the Sacramento region. We're looking more and more like Los Angeles and the Bay Area every day. So just watch for those. Those are, it's really tough to support that, but it's now the law. It's a mandate from the state, so that's coming your way. So anyhow, that's really all I have to report, and I'll pass it back to the mayor.
Thank you. Vice Mayor Karpinski-Costa.
Our last council meeting was November 9th. So since that time, we had Thanksgiving. It's been a long break since the last council meeting. On 11/15, I went to with the mayor, you forgot to mention, we went to the park board meeting where they discussed yay or nay on the Kathy Cook amphitheater that Bill Cook wants to build in her name. And they didn't get very far. So the board is a little weird. It's not like elected officials. They're appointed people, the park board. And so they continued it until the next meeting will be on January 17 at 5 p.m. And I know our city manager wants to go to encourage this board to, make the decision. He wants to build it and then just let the park, use it, have it, run it, whatever it is. But he wants to build it in his wife's name, who's the lady who founded our Citrus Heights Marching Band. So I think that it's a great addition to the park. It's a matter of where to put it in the park, and there's no agreement on that. Then I went to the Area 10 SOAR meeting, where we played turkey bingo. That was fun. And then on the next day, all of us went to the service and celebration for Jack Duncan. I was glad that we got to shine his sign up in front of the fountain that he and his wife Jean donated to the community center. And it was a very, Al Fox did the emceeing, did a great job. People got up and told some terrific stories about Jack. He's going to be sorely missed in our neighborhood and in our city. Did so much for our city. And so I think I had a dream about him the other night, and so I got a chance to say goodbye again. Then I went, not to be confused with the Octuba Fest that I reported last time, but we had another tuba event. The city manager was there, and I was there, and it's like, gotta be 50, 60 tubas from all over the region come and play Christmas songs. The Star Spangled, the song was so incredible. If you haven't heard tuba, you think of those big things being the tubas, but tubas, they're small. Some of them are small. There's different kinds of tubas. It was a lot. They had the professors from Sac State, from UC Davis. I mean, these are sincere tuba players, and they're great, and they sounded so terrific. It was definitely a free event. Should have been more, I thought it should have been better attended, but it was definitely great. And then I tried to go to the tree lighting, but I couldn't find a parking space. So there was absolutely no parking. It was just well-attended, and so I know that there was several hundred people there, and everybody had a great time. I called in. I says, I can't find a parking space. So, yesterday I did have a sewer board meeting, so getting down to serious stuff now. The only thing I'd like to report from the sewer board meeting is, it's the end of year. They're looking at setting some new policies next year come before us. We have what's called the Confluence Program, and it's monies that the sewer district raises through non-rate, non-fee. They didn't use fees, they don't use rates to fund it. Basically, it's, interest money that you get off your investments, and blah, 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 blah. And what they do is they give people breaks on their sewer bill. So if you are a person who makes, I believe it's 200%, at the level of 200% of the federal poverty level, which I believe Citrus Heights has probably quite a few people, you get about $175 a year off of your sewer bill between your local sewer and your regional sewer, and which is, as of January, now going to be one sewer district. So no more two sewer districts, one sewer district from now on. And so if that's something you feel that you have a mom or somebody that might qualify, you can call the district. Usually it's the same people that are on the SMUD and PG&E discount rates, for those people, and they usually, so maybe you don't know that there's also a sewer rebate for you. It comes up to about $175 a year. Then we talked about the clean fleet regulations, which is not a happy topic, so we won't talk about that. And so then, today I went to the, was it today? Yeah, I went to the swearing-in ceremony, and I just wanted to mention it because as we see Commander Russo retire, new people coming in, and I've seen so much of the chief in the last couple of weeks with all the events we've all been at, that something stuck to me today, and I just wanted to, he said this to his officers that were coming in. He says, you are willing volunteers to be treated unfairly. And I heard that, and I thought, you don't think about it, but here they are, our police department, volunteers to be treated unfairly. They're held to a higher standard in the community. You don't have to meet the same standards that they have to meet. And that if a policeman in another state does something, you didn't like, they take it out on the local ones that serve away from that state. So it's like, I thought about it, and I thought, that's true. On the other hand, they are well-loved, so I hope that it makes up for a little bit of being treated unfairly. So I thought that was very wisdom on the chief's part. Now, the other thing I want to report is, this month, we have so many eating events. We eat. We go places, lunch, dinners, holiday this, holiday that. And I thought about all this food that I've been eating because I'm on a diet. And so food is something you share with family, and you share ideas, and you share plans. And so I'm thinking now of all these places I've been, and I go because I share I don't go to the ones, I figured this out, I don't go to places I don't share their thoughts. So we get a lot of invites as council members, and so I did attend this teddy bear luncheon at Lakeview Village. The ladies and gentlemen there raised about 200 teddy bears, and it took, got to be, and the city manager and I were there, and it maybe takes about a huge van full to put all these teddy bears in the van, and they give them to the police department, who gives them to children that they may have responses to on their calls. If the kid has to sit in a police car or go somewhere overnight someplace, they have a little teddy bear to sit with them. I think this is just such a nice event, and I think that the love that the people have for the community shows. They also give some of these bears to some of the other kids around this holiday season. So that was a really nice lunch. And I had lunch with our assemblyman. He says, I want to know what's going on in your city. This is Mr. Hoover. He says, what do you guys need? What is happening? And, so we talked about the retail theft. Which, by the way, I wanted to make this announcement. I don't know if you guys read your, the Assembly is having a retail theft information hearing on December 19th. You know about this? Are we sending anybody to testify? Okay, good. So hopefully the legislature will come up with some response to the retail theft that we're experiencing, because many of our businesses it's just killing them. As happened, we went to the Sikh business dinner. Dinner started at 5 and went till about 10. These people can eat, but they're all wonderful, so it was a great experience. And then I went to the 25-year celebration at the Sunrise Marketplace, that they have been a marketplace business district for 25 years. And when you look back 25 years ago, what the district used to look like down Sunrise Boulevard, it's nothing like it looks now. So, we might have our slumps and ups and downs, but it was a point where it was just about dead. And then Kathy Lynn Carpenter, she put together a plan to make it a little more vibrant with events that go on over at the mall and bringing people in as best she can, considering the retail is iffy anyway. But that's pretty good, I thought. And we also, at the time, celebrated another retirement of Officer Jeff Schouten, who was the mall cop. So he's retired. And then we went to Stone's to eat some more and honor the people who were on the committee for the Wall That Heals. And they brought that Vietnam Wall to our park, and so this was a little eating event to honor them. Then we had the staff lunch, which was also, like I said before, it's neat to see the entire staff there that was there. It was just so important to you look at the year's accomplishments that were up on the video, and you say, we couldn't have done all that. We look good. These guys are doing all the work, and so we appreciate everything they've done. And all I can say is I've got some more eating to do this coming week. The Mosquito District doesn't meet on November, so we're going to have our Christmas dinner and our annual updates next week. And what else? There's, my Sorb neighborhood's having our annual potluck on the 28th. Bring a dish, make a wish. And when I'm done eating, that was it. I think it's enough eating. So that's where I've been, eating.
Thank you. You might have to limit
wear my
council members
calories
to
with
5
love.
minutes in the future, so. Okay, so a couple of things. I did get to attend the chamber lunch in November, but I had to miss the one in December, which was really heartbreaking because it was the chili cook-off. But that's a good thing. And then I attended the community meeting for Assemblyman Josh Hoover here in Citrus Heights, and good time. Quite a few people showed up. As mentioned, Josh is doing a great job for us, and we're privileged to have him as our assemblyman. And he came and met with the residents, and it was good. On Veterans Day, I did go to the Veterans Day ceremony at the Sylvan Cemetery, always a very touching day, and then over to the Veterans Community Center for another event over there. As Jana mentioned, we had the event at Stone's and for the Wall That Heals, just a very classy, emotional event for those that had put that all together, and hopefully demonstrated a vision that something will happen on a permanent basis with that in Citrus Heights. I had an STA board meeting. That's the Sacramento Transportation Authority. I don't have anything to report out of that. I had a, regional transit meeting a few days back, and really the only thing to report out of that is that we had voted down a project to build a light rail station near the downtown area at the tune of $40 million. That was brought back for reconsideration and then continued until January. And my position is that there's, I believe, something like 53 light rail stations in Sacramento County, and something like 42 of them are in the city of Sacramento. And when do we get ours? When is ours coming? And so, you know, we've got 500,000 to 1 million people that could take advantage of a light rail type of station in the Citrus Heights, Antelope area. And before I'm going to support probably another one inside the city of Sacramento, we need to get ours. What else? As part of my time on regional transit, I'm also on the Capital Corridor Joint Powers Authority, and that's the train, the Amtrak train that goes from Sacramento over and down into the Bay Area. It's a nice train. If you ever get a chance, take the train. If you're going to anything at the 49ers Stadium and any concert, any football game, it is amazing. The train goes right to the stadium. You step out and you literally step into the stadium. But reporting out of that, I just wanted to note that in the fiscal year 23, ridership reached almost 1 million, which was up 31% from the previous year, and revenues reached 23 million, which was up 30% over the previous year. So it's coming back, it's doing a good job, and they'll be doing more promotions and things like that to make that even better. I went to the Citrus Heights tree lighting ceremony with everybody, except for Jana, who couldn't find a parking space, I guess.
You should have picked me up, and then I didn't sell that.
And so, wow, it was amazing. It was really amazing. And we thought it was going to be a bummer because it was raining. It was raining pretty good. And but people came out. It was incredible. It was a good time. We had lots of hot chocolate. We had lots of cookies, and you could tell the kids really had a good time. We moved some things indoors, and that actually worked out better. I actually think we ought to think about doing that always, maybe in the future. So just something to think about. It was a really good time, though, definitely. Also, went to the Holiday Employee Appreciation Lunch, which is just pretty remarkable, as it's been mentioned, when you see how many people are actually out there, how many people actually work in the city, and know that we are the best city in the region. There's no doubt in my mind that it is those employees that get us there, and so they are extremely appreciated. And let me see. Oh, I went to the Sikh business dinner and with the others, and man, what a fun time! Those guys are.
They know how to eat.
They know how to have a good time, and so thank you to them. Definitely, they do a lot for the community, and certainly, definitely appreciate them. And let me see. I'm going to go with next.
I got to tell you though, they took pictures of the chief. They all wanted a picture with the chief, and the chief was he must have smiled, 52 times. And then Commander Fry said they sent him all 52 pictures at 2 a.m.
Nice. I wanted to point out that my family is in the audience tonight. My wife and 7-year-old daughter were here, but I guess it got to be a little too much for the 7-year-old to sit. But I want to acknowledge my daughter Stephanie is here, my son Christopher is here. Could you guys please stand up so I can embarrass you totally? Two amazing kids that I couldn't be more proud of, and thank you for being here. Let me see. I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. I hope everybody has a great Christmas and New Year, because we won't be meeting until after that time frame. And then if you're 18 or younger, could you please stand up? Don't try to hide it. We see you. Come on, get up.
Oh, wow.
Come on, guys. Yeah, I see you there. Come on. Yeah. And then I'd like you guys to come up to the podium, give us your name, what school you're from, and why you're here. There's a leader. Come on.
Hey, I'm Matthew Donaldson, and I'm from Bella Vista High School. And the meeting sounded interesting, and I came here for the American government class.
Thank you, Matthew.
Hi, my name is MJ. I'm from El Camino High School, and I came here because my friend Matthew wanted to.
Good job. That's a friend.
That's good.
My name is Mark, and I came here because my friend Matthew wanted to.
Nice.
Where's Matthew?
Hello, my name is Kai. I'm really just here for the class because I have to for. Okay, now that just sounds really like obligatory, like, why am I here? But I'm
understand.
here first because I have to do so for a class.
Thank you, Kai.
My name is Travis. I go to Bella Vista. I'm here for the government class as well.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Simone. I go to Bella Vista too, and I'm here for government class too.
Okay.
Where's Matthew?
Hi, my name is Jake. I go to Bella Vista, and I'm here for the government class.
Thank you, Jake. Great hair, Jake.
Hi, my name is Camille, and I'm here for the government class. I also go to Bella Vista.
Nice, thank you.
Hi, my name is Elias, and I go to Bella Vista High School, and I'm here as part of assignment for my government class.
Hi, my name is Alondra, and I came because my Gov teacher wants me to be more involved in the community. Shout out to Mr. Michelson.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi, my name's Claudia Albuquerque, and I go to Bella Vista. I'm here for the government class. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Andrew. I go to Bella Vista, and I'm here for the government class. Hi, my name is Jacob. I go to Bella Vista and for the government class.
Thank you.
Hi, my name's Alika. I go to Bella Vista, and I'm here for the government class.
Going for a job in radio.
Yeah, you got to go into radio, buddy.
Hi, my name is Chris, and I'm from Bella Vista, and I'm here.
Thank you.
Same reason as everyone else.
Thank you.
My name's
can do it.
Altina,
Come on.
and I'm here for the same reason.
Thank you.
My name is Aaron Mora, and I'm here for the government class. I'm from Bella Vista.
Extra point.
Hi, I'm Walker Johnson, and I'm from Bella Vista, and I'm here for the government class, like
Thank you.
most people.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Vanessa, and I'm from Bella Vista. I'm here for the government class.
Thank you.
All right, where's Matthew? Who got all
Yeah,
the-
where's Matthew?
No, Matthew was up. He was the first guy, right?
Can
Oh, was
Matthew
he-
stand up? Can the real Matthew stand
Yeah,
up?
yeah, yeah. So thank you guys for coming. We love that you're here. The fun stuff is over. Now we're going to get down to the business stuff, and it can get a little dry, but we welcome you to stay, but we understand if you need to go at any time, we won't be offended. But thank you for coming out. Okay?
Do you have to write something up or just attend? Oh. Oh, if you have to write, you can just wait till the minutes come out and there it is.
Shh.
No cheat.
All right. That's it for comments. Next item, please.
Next item is consent calendar items 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion for those. And then are we going to take a comment first?
I have a
Yeah.
comment on 10.
Let's go ahead and take our comment first, I believe.
Yeah, we
You ready for
have
that?
Mr. Robert Coronado that's joining us on Zoom tonight. So, Mr. Coronado, if you'd like to unmute yourself to address the council.
Hi, I'm Robert Coronado, and I'd be happy to donate the property located on Sylvan Road to the city of Citrus Heights to be used for the public's benefit in perpetuity. Thank you for agreeing, if accepted, to name the property Coronado Park in honor of my grandparents, Manuel and Francisca Coronado, who emigrated from Mexico in the 1920s and homesteaded part of the property. I was raised in the house located at 6532 Sylvan Road, which is located on part of the original homestead, and the house was constructed by my father. I attended San Juan High School and American River College before graduating from the law school at UC Davis. The property ties in well with the city's general plan goal of preserving and protecting open space, which in turn helps reduce the effects of climate change as outlined in the UN's climate change report. I'm glad that the Heights Church, located on Sylvan Road, who previously owned the property, sold it to me as they intended to cut down all of the oak trees, some of which are over 100 years old, and build a parking lot. It's been nice working with former Mayor Schaefer, City Manager Feeney, and City Attorney Jones in developing this project. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Mr. Coronado. If you could hold on for just a moment, I think some folks want to say something.
Yeah, I'd just
Sure.
like to say that Mr. Coronado reached out to me probably a year ago now. And from our first interaction, this is a great human being right here. This man is pretty amazing. And I got to meet him in person about a month ago. And I can't tell, I just want to express that it was just a delight to meet him, and I met him on the property, and I'm very excited to have this property preserved for generations to come.
Thank you. Yeah, let me just say, this kind of thing doesn't happen hardly ever, and your graciousness to us is extremely appreciated. So thank you very much, and go Spartans.
Yeah.
There you go. And
Thank you.
Thank you, sir, very much.
You're
And then
welcome.
that's it with that item. And then item 10, did you want to have a
Just want
comment?
to make a comment.
Yeah, go ahead.
My comment on item 10, Amy, just read the title so people know what I'm commenting on.
Item 10 is submission for application for Tree City USA designation.
So we submit an application to be Tree City USA, which we've been before, Tree City. But I want to make sure that whoever's doing this application knows or puts in there that we have the highest tree canopy of any city that's around us. So our tree canopy, if you were to look at Google Earth, you can just see the canopy of trees. I think that should be in the application, the fact that our tree canopy exceeds anybody else's in the whole area.
All right.
That's my comment.
Okay, if there's nothing else, I'll take a motion for the consent calendar.
Move approval?
Second.
It's been moved by Councilmember Schaefer, second by Councilmember Middleton. Any questions or comments about the consent calendar? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? It passes. Next item, please.
Next item is regular calendar, item number 12. The subject is San Juan Avenue Complete Streets Project Phase 1A, federal project number STLP 5475046. The recommendation is to adopt a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement with All Phase Construction for the San Juan Avenue Complete Streets Phase 1A project, and to adopt a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute a professional services agreement with Ghirardelli Associates to provide construction management inspection and materials testing services for the San Juan Avenue Complete Streets Phase 1A project.
All right.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members. I'm Leslie Bloomquist, City Engineer in the General Services Department, here tonight to talk about the very exciting San Juan Avenue Complete Streets Phase 1A project. Currently, the GSD department is working to implement complete streets improvements on San Juan between Madison and Greenback. The segment under discussion tonight, the Phase 1A project, is shown in the screen on red and is located between Madison Avenue and Chestline Drive. However, Phase 1 originally extended to Spicer Drive, but was separated into an A and B phases due to funding. But I'm happy to say that the Phase 1B, which is the orange segment on the screen between Chestline and Spicer, is now fully funded, so we're working towards finalizing those plans. And then finally, the blue dashed line is Phase 2, and while not in the current CIP, we are intending to extend the improvements up to Greenback in the future. But specifically for the Phase 1A project, we will, the proposal includes buffered bike lanes, sidewalk infill primarily on the east side of the street lighting, storm drain upgrades, full roadway resurfacing, transit stop upgrades for both transit improvements, but also accessibility and traffic signal upgrades. This slide shows both an existing and proposed typical cross-section of San Juan Avenue. If you look at the existing section, which is on the bottom half of the screen, you'll see that on the east side of the road, or the right side of the screen, there's no streetlights and the sidewalk is missing. The proposed cross-section in the upper half of the screen shows the new sidewalk, street lighting, and then also shows the new buffered bike lanes. What these cross-sections don't show is that even on the west side of the road, where there is existing sidewalk, there are utility poles, street lights, and other items that are currently impeding the existing accessible path of travel, and the Phase 1A project will also correct those issues as well. Design on this project has been underway for the past several years and was completed earlier this year. It was released for bids on October 9th, and bids were opened on the 29th of November. The engineer's estimate was $3.325 million, and the low bid from All Phase Construction came in at just under $2.75 million. The total estimated construction cost is $3.663 million, and that includes the construction plus all of the associated soft costs. Funding sources proposed to make up the $3.663 million include over $2.9 million in grant funds. This includes a state of good repair as well as a maintenance and modernization grant that has already been secured and obligated for construction of this project.
$367,000 in other local, non-general fund sources, including stormwater utility, Measure A traffic safety, and TDA bike peds have been identified, and $259,000 in road maintenance and rehabilitation funds. And we're also expecting about $93,000 in reimbursements from various utility companies for items that are included in the contract that we'll be performing on their behalf. In addition to the award of the low bid contract of $2.75 million to All Phase Construction, a 15% contingency is recommended to allow for unforeseen issues or other issues that might come up during construction. And staff also previously released a request for proposals and selected Ghirardelli Associates as the most qualified consultant to perform construction management, inspection, and material testing for the project. It's recommended to award Ghirardelli's contract, which is in the amount of just over $501,000, which brings us to that $3.663 million. And I also just wanted to point out that the approved 23-24 and 24-25 CIP budget allocated just over $4.5 million for the construction of this project. So with the favorable bids received, there's an over $800,000 in budget savings of non-general fund, local funds that can be used to supplement other capital projects. There are two items for consideration tonight. The first is to approve the construction contract with All Phase, and the second is to award the construction management, inspection, and material testing professional services agreement to Ghirardelli Associates. And I have the two motions on the screen, and I'm available for any questions.
Okay, before we go to the public, I'll ask if there's any comments or questions right now from council members. Yep, go ahead, Councilmember Schaefer.
You scroll back two screens, please. There you go. I want to note this bottom half of this. This is like almost unheard of lately. Every time we've done this, it's gone over budget. This is the first time I've seen in a long time where I've seen it actually come $800,000 under. How do we replicate that? Like multiple times. So great job for that. Thank you very much. And that's really the only comment I had.
Thank you.
Vice Mayor?
I was kind of trying to follow what the presentation was and what we have in our staff report for the benefit of the audience. Did you have the project funding slide of where the money comes from? Did you have that slide?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so I didn't see the SACOG money. So the SACOG money is the,
It's the first row. I combined the two SACOG grants into one row here. So
all
both
the
the State of Good Repair
grants. Okay,
and
just
Maintenance and
grants.
Modernization
Okay.
are from SACOG.
I got it, okay. Stormwater Utility Fund, people wonder when they put money in on their stormwater utility bill, that they have to know that that's where it's going. So it's kind of nice to know where the fund is, you know, basically the people are paying for it, and what else we have? Our bike safety, Measure A traffic safety money, so that's good, that's the Measure A, that's the sales tax money. So you know that when you are funding this project, basically, and SACOG.
Thank you. Okay, any speaker sheets, Amy?
I have not received any, and I don't have any written comment.
Okay, any, my comments, I guess I'll just say this, that, wow, like Tim said, it just doesn't happen. And so bravo, bravo, and hopefully we'll see it more and often. This is such a sorely needed project. Oh my gosh. And I'm glad you're starting over by Madison, because that's where it's needed the most. So thank you so much. And I know this will make a lot of people happy. Not to mention, this is going to make our city look a whole lot better too. This is, kind of a gateway into our city for a lot of people. And when they cross over Madison and their teeth start chattering and stuff like that, it's not good. And so thank you so much for this. Any final comments or questions? Okay, we'll entertain a motion then.
I'll make a motion. I move that we adopt a resolution of the City Council of the City of Citrus Heights, California, authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement with the All Phase Construction for the San Juan Avenue Complete Streets Phase 1A project.
I'll second.
It's been moved by Councilmember Schaefer and seconded by Vice Mayor Karpinski-Costa. Any comments or questions on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Passes.
Okay. I'll make a motion, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Citrus Heights, California, authorize the city manager to execute an agreement with Ghirardelli Associates to provide construction management, inspection, and materials testing services for the San Juan Avenue Complete Streets Phase 1A project.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilmember Schaefer and seconded by Councilmember Lopez Taft. Any comments or questions on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Yeah, I have a question. Does Ghirardelli make that chocolate?
That's right, we'll get chocolates, right? Yeah. Anybody knows? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you so much. Very exciting. Next item, please.
Next item is regular calendar, item number 13. The subject is 3-year pavement preservation plan, arterial, collector, and residential streets. The recommendation is to adopt a resolution approving the 3-year pavement preservation plan.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and council members. Regina Cave, General Services Director. And with me, I have Cesar Lara from Cal Pavement Management. He's a principal with the firm. This item before you stems from discussions that we've had with council via the prior strategic retreats, part of the focus area work plan, stemming from May of 2022, and again, directives that we received September of last year, advising staff to prepare a plan that focuses on our arterials and our collectors and our streets that tend to convey more traffic that could serve a lot more of our users, but also making better use of the anticipated funding that we would be receiving as part of our revenue neutrality. And so this is what that plan does. So over the last year, staff has spent time with Mr. Lara and his team to really tear apart our existing pavement condition plan, our PCI report, to really look and dive into what those numbers mean, what the streets look like, what are the options that we have, look at industry standards, non-unique to Citrus Heights. We do have poor conditions across all of our pavement, both residential, collectors, and arterials. Very similar to other agencies, none of us have just an infinite pot of money to repave all of our streets. And so historically, I think I went too far. A lot of our historical projects have actually focused heavily on repaving, and a lot of our laymen understand resurfacing streets as just paving. When you pave streets, and you're a lot more impactful in terms of construction and costs. So you can take a street that actually has really good bones still to it and do something more to it than just grinding and paving, and so that's what we wanted to look at. So the desired outcomes of this multi-year plan is to increase our total number of streets and surface areas that can be addressed annually by utilizing more cost-effective methods to treat pavement. This is separate from just mill and fill or milling and overlaying. We want to balance our priorities, looking at streets that convey, again, higher traffic volumes that are not immediately planned for any major complete streets or have grant support, and address streets that are in poor condition, as well as maintain or improve streets that are in good condition. And this is very important. The plan that has been presented before council that's in the staff report has over 300 streets. And you will find that while many of those streets may be in poor condition, maybe with a PCI lower than 40, some of those streets actually are in good condition. They may have been resurfaced or repaved in the last maybe 10, 15 years. The objective is to also keep those streets in good condition, because once they fall to about a 50 or 60, they will continue to degrade much quicker, and it will be much more costly to maintain those streets. So we want to find that balance between addressing some of the really poor streets, but also maintaining the good streets that we have. And then lastly, strategize resurfacing efforts geographically to minimize mobilization costs and maximize our output. Contractors, just by nature, if you have them bouncing all over the community, it's going to cost them a lot more money to maintain those crews. And so we want to be able to be strategic geographically, not only for that cost, but also to minimize the impacts to our residents and our traffic. We know that Citrus Heights is a commuter community. We have a lot of traffic that commutes through our streets. So this is going to be a shift in approach. Again, historically, mostly it's been repaving projects, 2 to 3 inch overlays. Negatively, it's costly application, resulting in fewer streets that have been addressed. We've had as little as 6 streets being resurfaced. I think this last year, probably one of the most streets we've done was 20 streets, albeit a lot of them courts, because those tend to be the worst streets that we have. Very extensive schedule. It takes weeks to get one street done, and hefty requirements. If you do a multi-layer, even with a micro seal, it triggers ADA requirements. This is a federal law. And so while we do not want to not do ADA improvements, and we do definitely want to make sure that our streets and our sidewalks are accessible for all, in this aspect, our focus really is on the pavement because we understand that that is the priority of the council and of the community. The positive on paving projects is that really is the best solution to do. It's a 15 to 20-year return, but again, much more costly. And within that 15, 20 years, you are still going to have to apply another preservation treatment in order to maintain that pavement in good condition. So moving forward, the approach would be to align with industry norm and a regional approach and preserve through seal applications. So this could be your cape seals, slurry seals, crack seals, et cetera, and Mr. Lara will go into that. These are much more cost-effective options, resulting in more streets and total pavement areas to be treated because they are a fraction of the price as they would for an overlay, and shorter construction schedule per street. No requirements for single-layer application, so just to slurry a street to do a single layer, it does not impact the profile of the street, so therefore does not trigger ADA requirements. And this is our primary recommendation. The con on this is that it is a 7 to 10 year return, so you don't get as much return on your efforts as opposed to an overlay. However, if you take your 7 to 10 year investment and you come back in again another 7 to 10 year and resurface again or over slurry seal, you're still spending only a fraction of the price as if you would have done an overlay in the beginning. So you're still getting a better bang for your buck. So outside agency highlights, we get compared a lot to what other agencies look like. We hear about Roseville, what Roseville does with their streets, and Rockland and Folsom, et cetera. So we wanted to look at some of these other agencies, not only here within the region, but outside and see what they're doing. So we looked at City of Roseville. They do a lot of crack seals, slurry seals, microsurfacing, and asphalt rubberized cape seals. We have some examples to show for City of Martinez that have streets that look similar to ours, where they did a 2-layer system. And I'll try to refrain from getting too technical, so if you feel like I'm going too much, just let me know. And then we have Lake County with a 3-layer system, an asphalt rubber conventional. So I'm going to have Mr. Lara take over from here, and he can go through some of these slides for some of these respective agencies.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and council members for having me. So our first example is the City of Roseville. And what you're seeing on the map here is their current PCI or PQI, their condition, which shows blues and greens, which means it's in good condition. Now, it wasn't always like this. They used to take the worst first approach, which is put all their money into the bad streets and overlay, and then they adopted a preservation plan, and what that includes is crack seal slurry in their residential areas and multi-layer lifts, which I'll get into, in their collectors and arterials. So what you're seeing here is a type 2 slurry. It's a 1/4-inch application to maintain your streets. I got to give the analogy with pavement preservation. It's like the wood on your house. When you paint your house, you're protecting the wood or the asset, which is the wood, which is the most expensive part. It's kind of like these overlays, these 2 to 3 inch overlays. You apply these treatments to extend the life of the roadway.
Can we ask questions as you go along? Because it's going
Sure.
to be tough to go back and try to find these pictures again. So I'm looking at this road. I don't see holes in the street. So are these you only good on the residential streets that don't have holes in them? Is that, I mean, you don't say all residential streets get a type 2 slurry, right? It's just.
Correct. We're going to go through and you're going to see some more pictures that actually have some degrading of the streets that are very close up and very similar to our situation.
Okay.
And that we're still making the same
This street looked
recommendations
like
of
it
the
was in pretty good
slurries.
shape, other than it's not black anymore.
No, there's some other examples.
Okay.
But to that point, it's a good candidate for a slurry. So our next, and this is still City of Roseville, they do an asphalt rubber cape seal, which is 2 types of preservation treatments, making it a 2-layer system. The first being an asphalt rubber chip seal with 3/8 rock, so it gives you the beef, covers a lot of those cracks, and you come over with a type 2 slurry over the top of it. These multi-layer applications are some of the stuff that we're recommending for Antelope and Dewey, which is a lot of what your neighbors are doing on collectors and arterials. This next picture is the final product, or the first layer on the left, is the chip seal, and you can see the slurry going over the top of it. It fills in any voids, so kids riding their rollerblades or skateboards or whatever they're riding nowadays. Gives you a nice smooth finished texture. And then when you put your striping on it, the striping is real visible. But the picture on the right shows a pretty alligatored roadway, and it's a lot what you see in Citrus Heights. And to Regina's point, structurally, the bones are still good. There's no water coming from the bottom up. There's no rutting. There's no failing. It's just an old road. And so a treatment like this, we're talking about dollars per square yard as opposed to, $60, $70 a square yard for overlays is a good treatment that extends your budget.
Is this the one, Regina, you did up in, what I came to see over in?
No, that one was different. So the one that was utilized at Butternut for that demonstration project is called a fog seal. It's a rubberized fog seal, and it's basically a water preserver or water, what would you call it?
It's just a paint, it's seal, yeah.
It's just to prevent from the water actually getting inside. Typically, those are utilized on fog lanes, correct? And at this time, we decided to use it because it's not a high traffic enough area to where we had to be concerned with any type of compromising of friction out there. And so we wanted to see how that would work. We did do it over a crack seal. The good thing about that application is you do not actually have to remove your existing striping. So the thermoplast striping that we put out for the reflectivity, in most cases, you have to grind that before you do any type of a slurry treatment over. In that case, we did not have to. So we're still monitoring that to see how that works on some of the better streets with the higher PCIs, but at this time, we're not recommending that as part of this
So you
treatment.
can take this guy on the right-hand side that looks like the alligator, and you can turn it into the guy on the left?
Correct.
Don't, with this, okay.
Correct.
Yeah. The next picture is Roseway Parkway and Galleria Boulevard, which is, it sees a lot of cars per day. In the city of Roseville did a type 2 micro, a single layer application of a preservation treatment. And that's when I go back where that overlay underneath that roadway is their asset. Every 7 to 10 years, they're gonna come back and apply this treatment that costs $3 to $4 a square yard. To, a roadway, when you build it, should last you 20 years if you do nothing to it. The idea behind preservation is you put money into these roadways more often. And we have roads in California, I know when I worked for a contractor, that have been down 60 years, overlaid, but continually maintained, like painting the wood on your house. So that's the idea behind it.
And again, this is 79,000 plus cars per day that go through East Roseville Parkway and Galleria. We get about 42,000 or so on Greenback Lane, so that tells you the volume that that road sees, and it is still in excellent condition.
Next up, we have the city of Martinez, actually where I live, and I'm highlighting the last road on this list here, Giltrix Drive, which had a PCI of 33. You can go to the next slide. The city of Martinez, actually, like 90% of the agencies in California, had no money. They're low on budget. And so if you look at the picture on the right, that road looks like a PCI of 33. And ideally, that's when, if you had the money, you would rip that up and put a new overlay down on it. The beauty of preservation and the power of it is, being that they didn't have the budget for it, they did a 2-layer system, which has fiber in it. So it's a type 3 micro. It kind of filled in all those voids and cracks, and they came over with the second layer, type 2 slurry with fiber in it. The PCI went up from a 33 to an 81, and that picture you see on the right, that's 7 years later. So while it's not the quote-unquote correct fix, and honestly, they used this as a Band-Aid back 8 years ago, and now it's the norm. They use this product on all their residentials because it works so well. You can see the next picture, there's the 7 years. Last one is the city of Lakeport in Lake County. Same scenario with this. If you're looking at the roadway there, that's a PCI of 17. That is an absolute rip up and put a new roadway without a doubt. The county just didn't have the money for it, and so they were looking for solutions. Another Band-Aid scenario was working for a contractor, so what we did is a 3-layer system. The type 2 slurry has larger aggregate. It filled in a lot of those voids, kind of like when you finish a puzzle and you put that glue over the puzzle. That's kind of what the type 3 micro did over it on the first layer. The second layer was a 3/8 chip seal, where the county had their own crews, so that the contractor came in, supplied the oil, then they applied the aggregate. And then the last layer is a type 2 slurry. And you can see in 2016, that roadway that was a rip-up PCI, this is a picture of 2023, and it still looks amazing. So
What
a
was that
Band-Aid.
cost?
Go ahead.
Well, how much does that cost for a
So-
square yard?
Oh, so a three-layer system, it depends on the size of the project. It could be anywhere from $8 to $12 a square yard. But still, you know, thousands of dollars cheaper than an overlay.
So here we have a map. This is actually as of today, to make sure I have the most current information. This is what our existing street conditions look like. So the breaking point for each of these categories is about 90, I believe 60, 40, 30, and 10, I believe, somewhere around there. So the green and blue are ideal, obviously. But from the time that a street is resurfaced, it immediately starts to degrade. So you will see that PCI drop on a street anywhere from about 1 to maybe 4 points per year, depending on the traffic conditions of that street, what kind of drainage is provided on that street, if there is any drainage, different seasonal conditions that we have. So it's very important that we do maintain the streets that we do have. Like I said, you are going to see some streets on this list that might show up as blue, that may have been resurfaced in the last 10, 15 years, and the idea is to keep them blue. So with the plan focusing on some of those orange streets, for instance, up in Area 1, there's an adjacent street that might be a blue. We're going to resurface or proposing to resurface that blue one as well to slurry to maintain that investment. Because by the time we come back to that neighborhood again, it could be a good 5 to 7 years, and we want to make sure that that street does not continue to degrade. So here's from our dashboard of our Street Saver. You can see as of today, our PCI is now at 47. It has dropped 3 points, our overall network, from December of last year. Take these?
Yep. So what you're seeing here are Farm Gate Way here in Citrus Heights, current conditions, when I went out and looked at it. The picture on the left was a roadway that was, or farm gate that was slurried. It can't be older than 5 to 7 years. But you have some localized failure there that can be, so in residentials, that will be the method going forward is if there's a street that has localized failures that you can fix and then put a slurry over it and bring the PCI up, that'll be the approach. On the picture on the right, farther up on Farm Gate. Fair Oaks, sorry. A little bit more distressed, and that's where we're proposing a multi-layer lift, like an asphalt rubber cape seal that's done in the city of Roseville. It'll fill in all those gaps with the asphalt rubber chip part, and then with the Type 2 slurry, give it a nice cap, and it'll give you a 10-plus year roadway. Here are some more, you can see here, here are some actual streets in the city of Citrus Heights. So these are great candidates for slurry with crack seal. There is a lot of cracking, but it's just an old brittle road that can be brought back to life with a slurry and really, really extend your dollars and cover more lane miles in your city.
And again, and it's a training really for our staff as well to understand where these failures are occurring. Are they actually base failures or are they just surface? If it's just surface, that's how asphalt is supposed to age, and we can apply that preventative maintenance. If there are base failures, as Mr. Lara was saying, either pumping or where you see some depressions in the asphalt, chances are there's some degradation subsurface, so we would go ahead and address that and then come back with those slurries or those cape seals.
Right. And then, like my previous slide, Dewey and Antelope are great candidates for multi-layer treatments that would be really cost-effective and would last a good 7 to 10 years. So another great option for your collectors and arterials in the city.
And Dewey is planned for resurfacing in summer 24. We've extended it from Connemara to Greenback Lane, all the way up through Van Maren to Auburn Boulevard. So we will be doing a much longer segment of roadway in this next year. So this just kind of shows, you know, if we had enough resources, not just the money, but resources of staff and the ability to do one fell swoop over the entire city. We've got 2.6 million square yards just of residential, what that investment would look like. There's a significant difference in cost when you're looking at a 2-inch, which it could be a 2-inch, it could be a 3-inch, depending on your streets, what the existing conditions are, but a mill and fill or an overlay versus other applications like your slurry seal. So you would come in on an ideal candidate with a slurry seal. You might come back in 7 years if there's cracks that are coming through and apply a crack seal. At year 12 or so, you would do a cape seal. At 25, you would do another slurry seal, and you're still spending less money than if you did a mill and fill at year 1, and you come back and do another, mill and fill overlay at year 20. Same thing for our collectors and arterials, 280 million versus 136 million, and that's based upon roughly 1.6 million square yards of paved area for collectors and arterial streets combined. So in summary, we are looking with this plan to be able to increase our output from 1 to 2 center lane miles, and that was based upon this last year, what we produced per year, to over 52 center lane miles per year on average, with that slurry approach, and also for the multi-layer approach for our collectors and arterials. Maximize our funding and accomplish more maintenance objectives. Of course, it's not just the pavement, but we also have our striping that we need to address, and it would be able to be kind of a 2-for-1 punch on many of these. Incorporate striping, other traffic, bicycle, and pedestrian improvements when and where feasible, such as our MMTSP plans. Maintain our flexibility with the program to allow for adding or moving streets in the schedule. We are still continuing to work with our utility partners. We do know that some of the gas and electric companies do have some plans in '24 to hit some of the neighborhoods, notably Area 1, Area 7, Area 8. So we want to make sure that we are working very closely with them to make sure that they complete their work ahead of our schedule. So when we get in there, they're out of the way, and we know that they're not going to come back through and compromise any of our investments. And then achieve a reduction in greenhouse gas emissions. Because these applications that we're proposing do require less trucking, we're not going to be grinding the asphalt. We're not going to have multiple trucks having to deploy on any of these streets when we're doing this work. There is something to capture, I believe it's somewhere around 2% on the GHG emissions. So staff recommends the City Council adopt the resolution of the City Council approving the 3-year pavement preservation plan. And we're here to entertaining questions.
Okay, any preliminary questions or comments? No? Go ahead, Councilmember Schaefer.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Well, thank you very much, Regina, and forgive me, what was your name again?
Caesar.
What's that?
Caesar.
Teaser.
Yeah.
Okay, so, when we have the rains come and the winter comes and we have, this is when the alligator street starts popping up, the chunks of concrete a blacktop start popping up. I usually run out there and put them back in place. But
Or see-click fix, and we'll go out there.
there you go. Okay, so I don't think you could even begin to keep up with it at the rate that it comes up. So the question I have is, and this is really more for the edification of the public, and that is, there's not a lot we can do we can just kind of do some fill, but it's not really the ideal fill that we would get if during the cold winter, during the winter months, we're sort of limited on what we have access to. Is that correct? Can you talk about that?
Correct. So currently, because of the temperatures, ideal temperatures for hot mix asphalt is 50 degrees and rising, and you have to have your precipitation low enough to be able to support that. It's very difficult to get hot mix asphalt right now with the plants. They're very limited on how much they're producing and how much they will open up for. You have to have larger jobs. Having said that, our crews have been out, both our staff here as well as our 2 contractors that we have, applying cutback or cold mix to get us through now through the winter season, and then back in February, March, if it's conducive and we have hot mix available to us, then we will start back up again on our hot mix application, mill and fill and potholes.
So that typically means the spring.
Usually.
It's usually,
We play it by ear just to see, depending again on the temperatures and the rain.
okay. All right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
That's all I had.
Can you send, could you send a copy of this PowerPoint to us? At least to me, I'd love to just kind of store this in my iPad, and I can see it better when it's hard for me.
Absolutely.
And second, question, if we approve this tonight, are we approving all those streets that you have in this, in the appendix or whatever?
It's basically approving it in concept. We're saying
Some of those
it's
streets are not in bad shape. I mean, and some streets could take a little slurry seal, and everybody would smile, and you're back to courts. And I just don't see, even people who live in courts would rather drive down a street to their court on a better street. I mean, Mariposa has never been paved, and yet one of these streets I noticed has been paved at least twice. I've got all of the ones that I have 2002, 3, 6, 10, and 11. And I don't even have the other ones. And some of these streets have been paved twice before, and they're still on the list, and other streets haven't been touched. And then in my district, which is all of Area 6 and half of Area 4, there's none in my half of Area 4 on this list. And when I campaigned, I went down every single street, and there were some horrible streets. And Area 6, you got like 3 courts, 4 courts, and 3 streets. So, I mean, and then Area 10, forget it, there's nothing in my half of Area 10 on this list at all. Oh, 1 court. And so I'm not in favor of the streets you chose, but I am in favor of the idea of, starting to work on some of these.
So again, as I stated, there are going to be streets on here that are still in good condition. The idea is to be able to maintain them in good condition, and we're maintaining them at a fraction of the price with a slurry seal versus waiting until they degrade to a 50 or a 40 and having to come out with
So my
more
question is,
expensive
can we
measures.
amend some of the streets that are on this list?
The plan is, it needs to be fluid. So as we're moving through these neighborhoods, and for instance, if we're putting projects out to bid and we see that the projects are actually coming back at less than what we anticipate, like today's San Juan, then we can go ahead and pull more streets into that project. If we have costs that exceed,
But
or
if
if
you
we,
have none already in Area 4, the section that's on the top half above Costco, I mean, above Calvin, let's say, if you have
Correct.
none, then you're not going to be there
we could
anyway.
we could still add more streets in.
No,
but
you don't
keep
want
in-
to move your stuff over across town, so.
They're still already going to be moving geographically. When we were talking about geographically strategizing, we're saying we don't want to do 3 in Area 1, 4 in Area 10, and a few up in Area 7.
I got you.
If we're already bidding projects out that might cover all of Area 1 in one project, all of Area 2 and 4 in another project, the contractor's going to still be in that area. But touching on what you said about, there's a lot of streets that aren't on here. We have over 1,300 streets in this city. About 300 of
Why
them.
you should pick the ones who have never been paved.
About 300 of them are private. So that still leaves us with 1,000 streets to pick from. We've got 335 on this list.
Some of which have been paved once and some twice already.
And
yet
when
some
we-
none at all.
And when we come back to each of these, when this plan is done by 27, 28, then we'll review and see what other streets that we need to go after next. We can't achieve all of our streets all in one fell swoop.
Well, I'm not happy with
So, you made the great perspective of it's like putting paint on wood, in your house. And so it just makes total sense. It makes total sense to try to keep that looking good and not wait till you've got dry rot and now you've got to replace the wood. Paint's not going to handle it. To touch on what Councilmember Schaefer asked about weather and stuff like that, can this stuff that you're showing in the pictures, can it be applied during colder weather, or is it also restricted to warmer weather?
Yeah, it's restricted to the paving season, and with all preservation products, the earliest the contractor will start would be like April, and then usually end around October. So that's the window.
And then, and I really like the geographical approach, because it does make total sense. And the thing is that the public is going to need to remember that, either they're going to get lucky and the geographical area is going to be around them and include them, or they're not going to get lucky and maybe it's going to, 5 years before they get there or whatever. But it just makes total sense again. And instead of moving all this stuff around and just hodgepodge kind of a thing or whatever approach, that we work on areas and get areas up to speed and looking good. And if we do it that way, it's going to get us to a point. It's going to take a while, but it's going to get us to a point to where everything is going to look pretty darn good. And then it's just going to be about maintaining it and keeping it maintained. And so it just makes total logical sense. To Janie, to your comments, it's not about which street has been paved before or not. I mean, I live in a
If you look at the
subdivision.
list, though, if you see
Hold on, it's my turn.
3 pages
Hold
of
on,
one
hold on,
neighborhood.
Hold on. So I live in a subdivision that hasn't been paved in 22 years, because it's a new subdivision, but it needs work. But I'm not going to expect somebody to come in and do that just because it hasn't been done. There might be streets out there that, again, got paved 20 years ago, 10 years ago, and for whatever reason, that failed or something like that, or it just didn't work.
$3
Whoever,
million wasn't enough.
whoever did the work.
We didn't spend enough.
Didn't work. And so it has to get back on the list, if you will. And we've got to trust Regina and her team and whatnot to pick those streets that are right. And then we've got to just bear the burden of those that call us and say, why isn't my street getting paved? And it's because, well, here's the system that we're using now. Hang in there, probably in 4 to 5 years. You'll be amazed at how all the streets in Citrus Heights look. I can tell you, it was, when we became a city 25 years ago, one of the promises was that all the streets would be paved in a short period of time, and it wasn't true. It wasn't reality and whatnot, and so you saw one earlier. We're doing just a part of San Juan, and it's going to cost $3 million, and so it's going to take a while to get back, I think, in the right spot. I think we got away from where we should have been, maybe going the path, but this is going to get us there, back there. So those are just some preliminary thoughts and questions. Anybody signed up for this?
I do not have any speakers for this item.
Okay, any final questions or comments? Nope, okay, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll move approval of a resolution for the City Council of Citrus Heights, California, approving the 3-year pavement preservation plan.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilmember Middleton, seconded by Councilmember Lopez Taft. Any questions or comments about the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed?
Opposed.
Thank you so much. Next item, please.
Next item is regular calendar, item number 14. The subject is ordinance of the City Council of the City of Citrus Heights, amending Citrus Heights Code, Chapter 94, Traffic and Vehicles, regarding pedestrians, Sections 94-416 to 94-440. The recommendation is to introduce for a first reading, read by title only, and waive the full reading of an ordinance amending Citrus Heights Municipal Code, Chapter 94, Traffic and Vehicles.
Good evening, Mayor Daniels and council members, along with my colleague Commander Russo, who is not quite retired yet. We're going to make a presentation on two different ordinances. I'll handle the first one and Commander Russo the second. So I'm Ryan Jones, your city attorney. And before you is the first reading of an ordinance amendment that relates to pedestrian safety. Specifically, it would amend sections 94-416 through 440 of the Citrus Heights Municipal Code. The ordinance aligns with the city council's goals relating to preservation and enhancing public safety. So the purpose of this amendment to the ordinance is to protect pedestrians at or near roadways or intersections from vehicular traffic. Staff has research data associated with those risks, and based on that research, staff is recommending a modification to the ordinance. The two key parts of the ordinance that would be amended, one is that it would be a prohibition of individuals from standing, sitting, or lying down on a driveway or driveway apron, and those areas are defined in the code, as well as a prohibition of individuals from standing, sitting, or lying down in center medians of certain intersections in the city except to cross that median. What we have before you is the recommendation to pass that first reading, read it by title only, waive the first reading, and move it for a second reading at the next city council meeting. If you have any questions for Commander Russo or myself, we're happy to answer them.
One question.
Oh, go ahead, yes, please.
Does it have the exception for when the firemen stand out in the middle of the median to collect money for the boot?
It doesn't carve that out, but they can apply for a permit, which I understand is how they've done that before.
Is that in the ordinance that you can apply for a permit so that everybody can know that?
It's not particularly in this ordinance, but that is that is an exception.
Well, they all know about it.
Commander Russo.
Nothing further.
I thought you were going to tell us something. Okay, yeah, and any preliminary questions, any other ones, comments? No, I just want to say that this is good. This is what's going to prevent people from basically standing on corners, with signs and stuff like that, or in medians as you're trying to come out of Walmart or whatever, and those kind of things. And so it's a safety issue, and we're going to approach it as a safety issue and take care of it that way. So that's it. Any public comments?
I do have one written comment that was submitted for this item. It is from Rick Hodgkins, and he states, "Good evening and hello again. From 2 previous meetings in August and either last month or October, as many of you already are aware, I must once again stress the importance of audible pedestrian-controlled traffic for the blind. I know that this is in the works, but that with this item being brought up tonight, I really have to drive the point even further by saying I can only now see light and dark. that which has me fear for my safety, so thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, any final questions or comments? If not, we'll entertain a motion.
All right. All right, what's the motion here? Introduce the first reading read by title only and the waive the first reading of an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Citrus Heights amending Citrus Heights Municipal Code, Chapter 94, Traffic Vehicles, Article 6, Pedestrians, Sections 94-416 to 94-440.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilmember Schaefer and seconded by Vice Mayor Karpinski Costa. Any questions or comments on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes. Next item, please.
Next item is regular calendar, item number 15. The subject is Citrus Heights Ordinance amending Municipal Code, Chapter 74, solid waste relating to illegal dumping. The recommendation is to introduce for first reading and read by title only and waive the full reading of an ordinance amending Citrus Heights Municipal Code, Chapter 74, solid waste relating to illegal dumping.
Good evening, Council. Jason Russo, Commander of Citrus Heights, and good evening, City Manager and community. The purpose of this amendment is to address some of the penalty or enforcement actions related to this code, to clear up the language and to make it consistent with some of our other ordinances. The penalty phase of this code will allow for different avenues of enforcement, including administrative citations, criminal citations, which were already there. Most of our muni codes are misdemeanors. This provides an alternative for an infraction, civil action, administrative, or misdemeanor, if it allows for that. This will provide additional avenues to hold people accountable, and the recommendation tonight is to waive the first reading and set for a second reading of this ordinance to amend the Citrus Heights Solid Waste 74 related to illegal dumping.
So currently, there's no penalty? Or there is, but it's,
There are some penalty phases in there, but like I said, most of the misdemeanor violations that are associated with our muni codes, if you remember back, I changed a few other muni codes to allow for infractions to better deal with some of the lower level crimes that the criminal justice system may not accept or will reject.
so who has to witness the illegal dumping? Anyone?
Yes.
Call it in and say, here's the license plate of a guy that I saw him dump stuff?
Yeah, our goal is to be able to gather that evidence, whether it be witnessed by a camera, technology, a person, and if we are able to identify the person responsible for that, hold them accountable.
Does the ordinance apply to people who dump on private property?
Yes, it can apply to public or private property.
And that's the nice thing about it, is that a lot of our businesses are having that happen. They're going behind the building, dumping all this crap.
Well, people come from Roseville and drive down Sunrise Boulevard on our pickup days for the neighborhood cleanup and just dump all their crap of different households as they go down the road out of the back of the pickup.
Any other preliminary questions or comments for Mr. Russo?
Not for me.
No.
Any
We'll go.
people signed up for this?
No, I don't have any.
Okay, final questions and comments? Anybody? Entertain a motion?
Hang them. Public hanging? I'll move the motion.
Go ahead.
Okay, I move that we introduce for a first reading, read by title only, and waive the full reading of an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Citrus Heights, amending Citrus Heights Municipal Code, Chapter 74, solid waste relating to illegal dumping.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilmember Middleton and seconded by Councilmember Lopez Taft. Any questions or comments to the motion? Holding people responsible, what a concept. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Against? All right, next item, please.
Next item is department reports, and there are none. The next item is city manager items.
Great. Thank you, and good evening, Mayor Daniels, Vice Mayor Karpinski Costa, members of the council, your city manager Ashley Feeney. I do have a few updates, but first I wanted to start off and recognize Director Cave for a tremendous amount of work that she put into the pavement preservation plan. And this is a direct outgrowth of the focus area work plan and the strategic objectives that the council adopted. So many more lane miles are addressed with this plan than the model of old. I'm really excited about it. There's also some major roadways that are part of that. Madison Avenue, your Dewey, many others, but it's going to be a fantastic endeavor that our team's taken on, and I know there was a tremendous amount of work, so thank you, Director Cave, for that, and your team as well. We have a award recipient here on our staff team, and this is from the Sacramento Valley Association of Building Officials. I'm really glad I'm familiar with that acronym, also known as SAVO. And it's for our senior inspector, Rick Kelly, who was recognized by SAVO for making a difference. And he's really passionate about making a difference, and he really tries to bring those stories home here to Citrus Heights. And you've heard in the past where he's recognized for having the SAVO team come and address somebody that was really in need of a roof, and that happened here in Citrus Heights. And he's continued to kind of spearhead those type of efforts for people in need in Citrus Heights and the greater Sacramento region. So we're happy that Rick is part of our team, and it's great to see him getting recognized for those efforts. Just a reminder to keep the gutters clean, as we are going to be having some rain in the forecast from November to the end of January. We have residents that can place up to 6 30-gallon trash bags full of leaves next to their green waste cart for additional collection. And please do not sweep or blow your leaves into the storm drain. It's not intended to be a garbage disposal. It will clog. So please go ahead and dispose of those the right way. We have a vaccine clinic that's going to be held here by Sacramento County on Tuesday, January 16th. That'll actually be at our community center at 6300 Fountain Square Drive. People can walk in for a flu shot or a COVID vaccine, and the details on that will be shared on our social media. But again, Tuesday, January 16th from 11 to 3. And as we said goodbye to Commander Russo, who's meant so much to our team, we also had another captain. Well, now he's captain. He was Lieutenant Chad Morris here at Citrus Heights. But the department has a history of producing a lot of excellence, and that's recognized in the region. And it's sad when we see them go, but it's bittersweet, because we know the professional standards that we have here and the type of training that goes into keeping our community safe. Sometimes we grow leaders in other communities as a result of that. And so with that, Chad Morris took a promotional opportunity with the city of Rockland. He's a captain there now. He was sworn in yesterday, and we definitely wish him well, and we'll continue to follow him in his career endeavors. But I know he knew many in the community, so we wanted to recognize that. We also have a new canine handler. Alyssa Bragg, you can see here with her partner Milo. They've successfully completed their training, so you'll see Alyssa and Milo out in the field, and so congratulations to her on that. And Citrus Heights PAL has been very busy, and I know the council's familiar with this because you've been at many of these, but on December 7th, we had Shop with a Cop, and we really thank Target, as well as Stone's Casino, Sunrise Marketplace, McDonald's, Seroptimus International, and Round Table Pizza, all great sponsors of that. But that's an opportunity where families are aligned with our police department, and they're actually able to go shop with a cop and get Christmas presents, ensure that everybody has a fantastic time. So that was held on the 7th. We also had the Miracle on Fountain Square, where you've seen the tree lighting ceremony. We had the Enchanted Force that was here as part of that. So PAL was a big part of that and a big part of our tree lighting ceremony. And then the Lakeview Village Teddy Bear Luncheon that Vice Mayor Karpinski Costa referenced earlier. Some great attendance at that, and we really appreciate their support. Those stuffed animals make a big difference in the lives.
I'm behind that white teddy bear.
Yeah, but those definitely make a difference. It's those teddy bears are with our officers, and sometimes youth are involved in some pretty stressful situations, and it's a nice opportunity to have a teddy bear to help bring some calm. We will have a council meeting recess over the holiday break here, December 28th. We will be in recess, and the next city council meeting will be on January 11th
That's a good picture.
of 2024. Yeah, it usually a lot busier than that, but that's what it looks like when it's in recess.
That's right.
All right, well, with that, that concludes my updates.
Thank you so
Hope
much.
everyone has a terrific holiday.
Thank you very much, sir. Next item, please.
Next item is items requested by council members or future agenda items.
Anything?
I have something.
Yep, go ahead.
Okay. So in light of Director Cave's presentation with regard to the expense of trying to get some repaving going, I'd like to try to bolster some revenue, and through that, the method I would suggest is I would like to a council member to support me in bringing back to council, in front of council in the next 60 days, a revision or a reconsideration of our cannabis ordinance, and potentially offer a cannabis business in Citrus Heights.
I'll second that.
Thank you.
Anybody else, anything?
On that issue?
No, not on the issue. Anything else?
Yeah, I do. I have two. One is easy. As mayor, you'll be making appointments, and normally we do that in January, at the first January meeting, but at least the two boards I currently sit on meet before that meeting. So I'm suggesting that unless there's something that we can ratify, legally ratify it at the January meeting, could he make his appointments prior to the meeting so that people can attend get the schedule for the.
Yeah, unfortunately, since it's not on the agenda, we can't act on that. I think whoever's currently in those roles can continue until him, but would have to wait till the January meeting or call a special meeting to appoint people.
Okay.
Sorry about
It's just, that's tough. Okay, my second thing is, I'd like to bring back, if somebody would second this, a discussion on our July celebration, on our offering to the public for what we plan to do with Fourth of July issues.
Okay, yeah, I'll second it, and just note that it'll be my position to second anything that a council member brings up. Doesn't mean I agree with it or not, it just means I believe a council member has a right to bring something up for a future discussion, so.
Oh, that's nice to know.
So, yeah, I'll second that.
Pay
Anything
raises?
else?
Pay raises, no.
It's coming.
I'm only kidding.
Anything else?
Nope.
And then nothing from me on that, and then we'll go to adjournment, so this is what I've been waiting to do.
Wait a second.
Yeah?
I think we need to all vote on an adjournment. Are we all going to vote?
We're not doing that, no.
You said you'd second it.
I am going to adjourn the meeting with a moment of silence and in honor of Jack Duncan and Harlan Friesen, two Citrus Heights heroes. And so let's give them a little bit of a silence, and then we'll adjourn the meeting. Thank you.